Hi, everyone. It's Henry DeVries from Agency Rainmaker TV. This is the show where we help agency owners, advertising, marketing, digital marketing, PR, agency owners find right fit clients by making it rain. And that means your pipeline. And I have a pipeline authority with me today, Stephen Woessner. Stephen, how are you today?
I'm delightful, and thanks, Henry, very much for the invitation. It's always good to spend time with you.
Thank you so much. We start with who do you serve? Because you're kind of this meta thing. Tell them about who you serve.
So I think you're saying meta because we're an agency that serves agencies.
Right.
Uh, but that is us. I mean, Predictive's been around for about 15 years. I've been in the agency business about 30, and a handful of years ago, we looked at, who have we served consistently throughout that 15 years? Who have we really enjoyed serving? Who's sort of closest to our own DNA? Where did we have, great results in the work that we were doing? And we're like, huh, it's agencies. And so we decided about I think it was about 8 years ago to really lean into that niche. And it's not an instantaneous thing, but over the course of a year or two, maybe it was a little bit longer than that. We started serving only agencies, and then Drew McClellan from Agency Management Institute and I started writing the Sell with Authority book back in 2018, published it in 2020, and and so we've been serving agencies exclusively ever since. So there are a couple of clients that we serve who are not agencies, but they themselves serve agencies, and so they're in the agency ecosystem, if you will. But other than that, we exclusively serve agencies in helping them sell more of what they do.
Well, and as you and Drew teach in your book and in your trainings, that if somebody comes with a bag of money and wants you to solve their problem and you like them and you think you can solve the problem, go ahead and take the bag of money and help them, but do not market to everybody. That My nickname for that is the niche slap of truth. There's the niche slap of truth. You've got to have the niche, and I met you through your podcast, and then showed up at a Build a Better Agency Summit and really saw, well, wait a minute, these are my people. This is who I'm looking for. So we went all in much more recently than you did. It's great. Now, because I've been a client of yours and was very satisfied, uh, tell the folks what you do for your clients.
Hmm. Well, um, I think if anybody's owned an agency for a while, they have felt to some degree, and hopefully not much, but they have felt to some degree the feast or famine of biz dev. The roller coaster. I wish I had a dollar for every time an agency owner said to me, "Well, we're the best kept secret, and the way that we get business is word of mouth and referrals." Which, when that happens, that is absolutely lovely, and we would certainly never try to turn that off. I mean, that would be ridiculous. And you want to nurture that and edify that and build it as much as you possibly can. So referrals are lovely. The downside to referrals is they're unpredictable. And so the way that we help agencies sell more of what they do is by installing a business development engine, or what we call the system, where they're consistently growing their audience, nurturing leads. Ultimately, we want them to be able to own an addressable market, meaning that inside their niche, they've got all of the relevant email addresses and so forth for the right fit prospects and so forth within a niche. That's what we mean by owning a market. So we want them to grow their audience, nurture leads, and then increase sales. But we want them to be able to show up in that sales process in such a way that it doesn't feel like sales. That the quote unquote closing is a foregone conclusion because they have a steady stream of well prepared, right fit prospects flowing into their agency who are eager to work with them. So that is the goal. So at a high level, that's how we help and support agencies.
I've always said we don't sell anybody. We find people who it's in their best business interest to do business with us.
Amen.
They decide that, then yeah, there's no sales that has to happen. So
That's
yeah,
right.
amen to that. So let's talk about how you make it rain, how you find
Hmm.
clients. So this is, you're the expert to teach other people how to find clients. How do you find clients?
Yeah, and maybe this goes without saying, but here again, I wish I had a dollar for every time that uh, I learned that the opposite is true. And here's what I mean by that is that, the same system that we use to help our clients, win more business, sell more of what they do, is the same system that we use at Predictive. In fact, we ran it through Predictive 331,952 times. That's an actual data set to make sure that what we thought we had developed, truly worked. And when we saw that we truly had something, then and only then did we start teaching it and sharing it with, prospective clients. Um, and so we run that same system here. And so when we're in, if you want to call it new business conversations with prospective clients, we actually step right into our Keep account. We show them our lead score. We show them our sales pipeline, right in the exact software that we're going to be installing for them, the same tech stack, so they can see it all working for us, and we introduce them to any and all of our clients that they want to talk to so they can do the proper vetting. So here's why I wish that the reverse of this would be true. In fact, this happened to me just the other day. When somebody an agency owner I know, reached out and was telling me, sharing with me this brand new kind of system that he had developed for, types of content and lead gen and that kind of thing, and was wanting to get some clients onto this version of, a system that they had built. And I'm like, oh, well, that sounds interesting. And so then my response back was, how's that working for you? And the owner said to me, well, I'm just now getting started putting it into practice for our agency.
Mm.
And I think that that's what we often find is that agencies will think of whatever the greatest thing is, like this brand new social media thing or this brand new, channel or this new type of content or insert whatever new shiny thing, and they want to be able to sell that campaign to a client. But if you were to ask them, how is that working for you when you've implemented it on behalf of your agency? The typical answer is, oh, well, we just don't have the time. I mean, we haven't done it for ourselves. And I'm like, you have to, in our opinion, you have to eat your own dog food. Like you're in the book publishing business, and that doesn't do it justice. But you're teaching your clients how to win right fit clients by being an author, by becoming a notable expert in a particular industry. Awesome. But if you yourself hadn't written a book, that then feels a little bit weird. Nobody's hiring the out of shape personal trainer. Nobody. Nobody, no trainers walking through the gym eating Pop Tarts and drinking Mountain Dew looking for clients. That person is not going to have a good client list. And so when we stand in front of clients, we pull back the curtain. They see the system and work on behalf or at work on behalf of Predictive. And then we introduce them to clients so they can do their due diligence, talk to somebody that's not biased, and then it's not selling at all. So the way that we drive business for Predictive is the exact same way that we drive business for our clients.
Yeah, and we don't want to hear about those cobbler's children again. Don't,
No.
whoa, the cobbler's children. He said, yeah, the cobbler's children, by the way, hated that story.
Yeah.
And the people who are on your team hate to hear you tell the cobbler's children's story that we're going to get business development right one day when we're not
Yeah.
so busy. Stephen, thank you so much for coming on. I see we're almost out of time. Is there anything else you wanted to add or tell us about that's coming up?
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. One, thanks for joining us at last week's intensive. It's always awesome to have you in the room. So thank you very much for that.
My
And,
pleasure.
yeah, I mean, it's a whole heck of a lot of fun having you there. And the work that you're doing alongside agencies, I think is great. helping them establish their authority in a particular niche. That's awesome. And as you and I know that Drew and I wrote in the book is that, a book is a huge piece of cornerstone content. And so not only is that going to help them, get on stages and podcasts and that kind of stuff and all of those things, but it gives them a ton of content that they can slice into the smaller cobblestones. And if they're smart about it, being able to put that into, a consistent content engine, if you will, to attract right fit clients. So thanks very much for the invitation. Very kind of you. Always great to join you. And thanks for joining us last week.
Thank you. And I look forward to having you back. So until next time, everybody, make it rain. Did it officially stop?
Looks like.